Jobs to be done, definition. Let's start with a short definition. Jobs to be done theory is based on the assumption that when we buy a product we essentially hire the product to get a specific job done. In other words, we are not interested in the product itself but we are rather interested in what it can do for us. When you're buying smartphone, you are not necessarily in love with the product, but rather you are thinking about the things it can do for you. How it will help you preserve great moments from your life, get in touch with friends and family, share important moments, read and listen to favorite music. We define the job as the progress that the person is trying to make, in particular circumstances and area. You also have to remember that the very same job can be done by totally different products or services. For example, if you want to get in touch with somebody you can call him, send him SMS, communicate via Messenger, WhatsApp, or you can meet him, or her in person. So, the very same job getting in touch with person can be done by different products. We can also have the opposite effect. The same product for specific customer can perform different jobs in different circumstances. We'll have a look at some examples that will be addressing such situations in the next lectures. There is also very important implication of the jobs to be done framework. You should not fall in love with your product. Instead of that, be obsessed with the problem and the job that the customer hires you to do. On top of that, don't look too narrowly at the competitive landscape. Let's see the process that will help you understand the job to be done for specific group of customers. In the first step, you want to understand what progress the person is trying to achieve. In other words, what kind of end result they are looking for. In the second step, you want to understand the context of a specific person. The job is not done in vacuum, but it is rather linked to the context in which the person is experiencing the problem, the struggle. You want to understand when, and where it happens, what is the customer doing in the meantime and with whom. The third step, is to understand what obstacles are preventing him from making the progress he's aiming for. In other words, you want to understand what is stopping him from achieving the desired effect. You would also like to understand whether the customer is using some sort of a workaround, and substitutes to get the job done. If this is the case, this would mean that this problem is important to him, and also it shows there aren't solutions to address his problem adequately. I would consider this a strong signal that there is a room for improvement, or for new product to fill in the gap. Finally, you have to understand what better means for the customer. Should the product be faster? Or maybe cheaper? Smaller? You should also understand the trade-offs he is willing to make to get this better performance he is craving for. So in short, first understand what he wants to achieve, what is his context. Then, identify the obstacles that are stopping him from achieving the progress. Find out also what kind of workarounds and substitutes he is using to achieve the progress in the absence of the proper solution to his problem. Finally, try to understand how customers defines a better solution. Those 5 steps will help you understand the job to be done. One last thing. Bear in mind that the customer hires the product more than one time. The first hire, the so-called big hire, or first moment of truth happens, when the customer decides to buy the product, or a service in the hope that it will get the job done. After that, we have series of little hires. This is the moment, when the customer puts the product to use and can either get the progress that he was hoping for, or he may be disappointed with the result. If the result is positive, he will rehire the product. If on the other hand the disappointment is big, and there is a better alternative on the horizon, he will fire the product. Little hires are sometimes called second moments of truth.